Welcome back to Factorio Launch per second. And we're picking up pretty much immediately where we left off last time. I'm going to make a change here. I don't believe God modules are what we want there. Instead, let us put a speed module in there. What sort of speed are we getting now? 9.1. I don't know how many speed modules we need. I don't have very many on me. Actually, maybe I'll order in some more of the speed modules. 10, yeah, sure. The reason I'm doing that is because I don't believe we're going to be burning sulfuric acid at the same rate as we're creating sulfur dioxide, so there's no point having that huge productivity boost to it. So it's kind of our sink for the sulfur dioxide to turn it into sulfuric acid, which we'll then use some, and we're going to have to vent some, so why increase the amount we need to vent? As long as this is fast enough, that's all that matters. And I'm pretty sure now that it's 37.1 crafting speed of something that only takes half a second, that will be fast enough, so we're good. And it's the same idea with the nickel. We're trying to get rid of it, so we don't need the productivity boost of the God modules. Right, now the thing that we did need though was the coal needs to be converted into carbon. Is this coal here? Coal. So we've got coal coming off to the side here, and actually going a little bit too far. I'd prefer it turns into carbon a little bit sooner than this. Come all the way back here. We're only using it for carbon, so what do we need to do to create carbon? One of these days I'll find the one that's carbon. Carbon, right, it looks like a block. There it is. 1 coal plus a half water gives you 2 carbon, takes 2 seconds. And we need one of those fancy pants machines, okay. Where do we want the carbon to come? Up here somewhere, so that's fine, okay. We need water to come into these machines as well, don't we? If you are building carbon, there it is. So there's your coal. Water can be supplied by a Mark IV pump. Do I really need 2 of these machines? I really don't know. I suspect not. Because I don't think I'm using enough carbon to justify it, but we'll find out when it's working. So, that's the wrong direction. Oops. And some rapid inserters, express inserters. And some God modules to save on resources. There we go. Now you two can come together and just be a single stream of carbon. So that will make carbon. Looks like some trees are in the way. Here's your remove tree part of the episode. And now, what are we up to? So we have lead plate coming along here, cleanly by the time it's gone past these. That gives you your lead plate, and we want to make these solder plate. We've got 2 recipes, one of which will be a sink for the silver, and the other one will be like the bulk process. So silver doesn't actually need any lead at all. That's interesting. The one that uses silver doesn't use lead. Okay, very good. So 11. They both give you 11 solder plates, right? Every 7 seconds, which by the time there's God modules in there will be incredibly fast. We probably want to keep the solder on just one side. They use these machines. One side of the belt. Let's try this. You make a solder plate that uses lead. And so do you. You both have God modules, so that you don't actually use very much resource, and you do it very fast. The lead will come up. Behind, and tin also. So that's solder plate. We need express inserter and express long-handed inserter. That's the end of the point of lead. All of that construction just for this. But there's more. So, the more that there is, is the fact that we will have a I want to kind of prioritize this product over these so that we use up all the silver. Let me just put it in place first. Okay, so you are going to use the silver plate. So the silver plate, where's the silver plate? Looks like a bar of silver, I remember. There it is, way up there. Just silver ore. Nothing very flash or special. You make silver. Again, I probably want speed modules, not productivity modules in that one, because it's a sink for a byproduct. You need silver, you need tin, you need copper. Okay, well this is tin. Let's just make a little hole here. So that's tin coming across, and copper can come down here. So that's our first requirement for copper. Copper is up here. Here we go, copper. We'll have to do something a bit flashier than that soon. You can go there. You can go there, and we'll extend copper one more spot. Now the silver is going to have a requester chest for silver ore. Let's make it like lots. Express inserter. Now this process here. Tin, copper. I guess we do want this God modules in that one. Now how do I give this one priority? I mean, if I put it in front of the queue, it gets priority, which, I mean, we could just reverse the belt. I'm not sure. That's tin. We did carbon, didn't we? Yes, that's the carbon there, and we need the carbon here. Yes, well, it's one of the uses of the carbon, so let's bring this back to where the carbon is. Ooh. That's carbon. This makes solder plate. Tin. We need to sort out the special ingredients. Let us clear out some of the remains of biters. Okay, this is the tin here. Tin plate, I think, is fairly straightforward. We simply put tin ore through a furnace, and that will give us tin plate. I'm not sure how many we need. Whether I just want it on one side of the belt or both sides of the belt. Let me just check my spread. I think I'm good to have it on both sides of the belt. So the ore, if we do that, we get a full belt of ore. We can come around the corner here. That's ore. Let's just whack down you guys are making tin ore, or tin plate, sorry. Whoops. Tin ore, tin plate, yes. Oh, that's why I can't see the formula. Express inserter. And simple as that, we have a belt. I mean, I could just put it in a row and use the fancy Nair inserters, but we've got space, we might as well do that. Now, where do we need to go for tin? First stop, straight down. There we go, tin. I think we will reverse this one. So solder plate heads off in this direction. Yep, liking that. So, what next? Okay, let's come down to... Let's come down here. What do we actually need? This guy needs tinned copper wire and carbon. And this guy needs plastic, silicon wafer, and tinned copper wire. Okay. Right. Okay. Oh, the other thing I've done, which I actually did off camera, is over here I've set up the ferric chloride solution. It's a fairly simple process. You get water, you use a chemical factory to get salt out of it. You have an electrolyzer where you process. Oh, this needs. Where you have water and salt go in. Water and salt. And you get, I've got to remember that we have that sodium hydroxide come out. It's a very good point. That has to go into an active provider. It has to be an active provider because, again, it is a secondary product and you don't want that stopping the process if that chest fills up. So an active provider will keep clearing it. But we need that product in the next part of the, well, in the aluminium processing actually. So it's not a complete waste. So that's the ferric chloride. I think I shortchanged you on the explanation. So yeah, that gives you your chlorine and your hydrogen. We make it into what's that? Hydrogen chloride, and then hydrogen chloride gets combined with iron ore to get ferric chloride. So this is coming from over here. As soon as we power it, oh, and these guys need God modules, of course, for the productivity gain. Here we go. So that's the ferric chloride. So tinned copper wire is fairly straightforward. You only need two products, carbon and tinned copper wire. Yeah. And what do you share? Tinned copper wire. Okay. Well, I guess I should make tinned copper wire somewhere around here. It's a very simple process. It's just how much do I think I actually require? Well, how much would these machines make? So basically, tinned copper wire. Let's zoom in a bit. So that would be copper cable, and that would be tinned copper wire. And with God modules in them, how much can this make per second? So normally you get 3 every half a second. This is going to be a lot. 3 every half a second. So that's 12 every half a second times 52. 600 and something per second. I think just the two of these will be sufficient for our entire requirements down below if we can extract the copper wire, all the tinned copper wire fast enough. That is actually going to be the problem again, isn't it? Where are we situated in comparison to that? We're there. So tin in. Tinned copper wire. Tinned copper wire out at the rate of about 16 per second. Is that enough? Or are we going to need more? 16 per second. Okay, so that one. Which tinned copper wire do we need on this side? Where is the tin copper wire used? It's used in all of these things, isn't it? 16 per second. That would be 2 per second across all 8 of these machines. That doesn't sound like enough, does it? So the demand for that is 21 per second. That thing produces 20, so it's just over 1 per second for that. That one is just over 1 per second demand as well. That one is just over 1 per second as well. So it's like 3 per second, that's 12 per second. Over on this side though, that 21 becomes like 5. So that's like 1 every 2 seconds. That's still like 14 per. So each one of these pretty much needs a dedicated one of these because I can't get the tin copper wire out fast enough, basically. So that's 8 of these will require if I do it like this. Well, that makes sense, probably. 8. Is there a tidier way of doing it? Thinking. So that needs an express belt, express inserter. Copper. Tin coming down. Actually a good point as to whether how many products do we need in this side? 3. If anything, we need to double up on the silicon wafer. I am starting to wonder if the throughput is actually going to be enough. I guess we'll find out. Yes, it's going to be fine. My maths is way off. I've built 8 of these machines for the 84. Don't math while you're recording, basically. I have built 8 of these machines to produce 84, so it's only 12. It's not 84 within each one, so that's not 21. It's far less. We're not going to. We've got 8 machines. I was thinking I might need 8 of these, wasn't I? We don't. I think we only need one. I guess we'll find out. So you need copper. Let me just check my... well, let's run this line up. Which one is copper? That one over there is copper, I think. Yes, it is. Okay, Mr. Copper. We will split you about here. Put a splitter in. Underground you from there to there, and from there to there. There's our copper. Now this one here is tin. Let me check this. So, tin. This is tin here. Let's just go a couple underneath. Throw a splitter in. We're really not going to use that much in the end, are we? Where are we trying to get to? Let's get up to there. And in. Correct the direction of all these things. Now, if I combine these two, we're actually going to well, what we can do, would fill both sides of the belt basically if I combined it. So I don't want to combine it. What I want to do is just run belt like so. And that will put tinned copper wire on only one side of the belt. Okay. Right. That's tinned copper wire. What else do we need? What kebabs? What do you need? Carbon. So, and that's the same on this side as well, isn't it? Wherever we need tinned copper wire. Those don't need it, obviously. That doesn't need it. That doesn't need it. That doesn't need it. Right, yes, tin copper wire can be combined with carbon, that's fine. So let's bring some carbon down and then plug it in, and then that will be a wrap for this episode, I think. Where's our carbon? It's up here. Let's split off. And down we come. Okay, so There we are, creating that horizontal bus that I was trying to avoid, but never mind. No, that's not where I want it. I want it one further over. I think that's right. Where's the next one? Probably this one here. And another splitter. And the next one is here. With a splitter. And the next one is this one here. Splitter. And then we need this one here. The splitter. Almost done. And a splitter. Just 2 more to go. There, and about there. That pole will probably have to get moved at some point. There we have it. That is the supply hooked up for the kebabs. And on that note, I think we'll end the episode. So thanks for joining me. We've made some good progress. Looking forward to seeing you in our next one. Cheers, guys.